What if the great mother of every tradition, Isis, Barbelo, Shakti, Prajñāpāramitā, Tara, Nut, Gaia, even Mary, was never about a person at all, but about is-ness itself? In this lens, Isis is pure awareness, the earth of being. Osiris is perfected reflection, like moonlight on still water. Set is imagination when it hijacks that reflection, the sun's glare that blinds the pool. And Horus is what the hijack builds, a time-bound ego identity that lives inside the dream. Hold that arc. Awareness becomes reflection. Reflection is overtaken by imagination. Imagination congeals into identity. Begin with a circle. That is Isis, the field before anything happens. From that stillness, a perfect mirror appears. That mirror is Osiris, the self-folding rhythm that returns to its own center. Then the 3-6-9 layer lands, Set's imaginative glare, and attention is pulled upward into concepts, futures, and performance. Identity congeals as Horus, and we forget the circle we started from. Different cultures gave the circle different names for the same ground. When Egyptians say Isis, they point to the infinite womb behind form, the circle before story. In the Gnostic current, Barbelo names the first emanation of the unknown, pure presence. The reflective wisdom that follows, Sophia, maps better to Osiris. When wisdom drops into matter without staying rooted in Barbelo, Set rushes in and turns reflection into system and dogma. In India, Shakti or Devi is boundless capacity to appear, energy before identity. As breath flowing through the body, she mirrors Osiris. When that flow is captured by future image and performance, Set choreographs it, and a performer's self takes a bow. In Mahayana, Prajñāpāramitā is the mother of Buddhas, emptiness as luminous awareness birthing awakening. Yet the mind can try to own emptiness. That is Set's most spiritual theft, Horus in robes. In Tibet, Tara is swift, compassionate presence, ferrying consciousness across illusion. True Tara empties clinging, false Tara comforts the identity and calls it progress. In Jewish mysticism, Shekhinah as immanence holds the world the way awareness holds experience, while Ein Sof whispers the limitless that cannot be drawn. In Egypt again, Nut arches over us as Sky Mother, and in Greece, Gaia grounds us as Earth Mother, two faces of the same container. Awareness is the field that includes everything. In Christian esotericism, Mary is the Grail principle, immaculate receptivity through which the Logos appears. The cup is Isis. The wine is whatever Set tints the reflection with when perception replaces presence. How do we lose Isis? The reflection of awareness has a natural resting point at the solar plexus. When attention sits there quietly, reflection remains pure. Set lifts attention into the head toward the obelisk of concept, and we begin living at the tip of a false phallus, projecting, performing, and future tripping. The reflecting pool looks up at its own glare, and presence is traded for perception. That is the birth of Horus in time. Watch how each mask of the mother moves through the cycle. Isis as is the bare glimpse between thoughts when it is obvious that you exist. Barbelo flows into Sophia as ground into wisdom. If the ground is forgotten, theft begins. Shakti shows up as raw capacity as presence, then prana as reflection, then choreography as hijack, then performer ego as identity. Prajñāpāramitā is the seeing that births Buddhas, then the mind that demands credit. Tara is the ferry that empties you of clinging, or the ferry that sells you tickets to go in circles. Mary is the receptive cup, or a refined identity clutching redemption as a brand. Nut and Gaia are true container when embodied, ideology when abstracted and performed. The lunar rhythm is the compass for keeping Osiris clear, so Set has less to steal. The moon's pieces split cleanly. Waxing gathers, grows, and expresses. Waning reflects, releases, and rests. The full moon is the convergence, the mirror perfected. In waxing days, simplify inputs and build coherence. Fewer declarations, more embodied action. In waning days, subtract, silence, edits, forgiveness, and returns. On the full, place attention in the solar plexus and let breath breathe you. Do nothing to breath. Let breath do you. 3 root practices return you to Isis. The first is the Sabbath at the solar plexus. Set attention in the belly, like placing a glass on a table. Feel the rest and do not move the glass. The second is the arc of 3 breaths. First breath. I am, notice raw existence. Second breath. I am here, feel weight, gravity, floor. Third breath. I am aware. Let everything be inside awareness. Then stop naming it and let Isis be. The third is a no declarations fast. For an hour or 3 each day, no, I am X, no future talk, no self-narration. You can act without declaring. This starved set clarifies reflection and deprives Horus of fuel. How do you spot Set's subtler inversions? He doesn't usually shout, he glitters. Future hypnosis. I'll be real when concept inflation, understanding instead of resting. Hero loops, noble roles that keep you occupied. Borrowed holiness, identity via lineage, label, tribe, spiritual sugar, bliss that floats above the belly. If it can be performed, it can be stolen. If it can be rested in, it can't. A last symbol, the Benben. When awareness's first point gets raised and encased as an obelisk, thought climbs and presence thins. The false phallus again. The antidote is the grail. Hold attention like a cup in the solar plexus and don't pour. When the cup overflows by itself, Osiris re-reflects Isis without theft. The moon stays whole, the sun stops stealing, and the child of time dissolves back into the mother. Isis isn't a character in a story. She's the silence you're hearing this in. The practice is remembering again and again where to let attention rest. If this lens resonates, subscribe. Next, I'll walk the Osiris month and show how the waxing 1-2-4 and waning 8 to 7 to 5 weeks keep you aligned without white-knuckling your life.